In this week's Torah portion, the children of Israel are standing at the banks of the Jordan River, getting ready to enter the promised land. Moses tells them that when they get there, they'll plant their crops, and then it will be their responsibility to bring the first fruits as an offering to God. The very first thing that grows out of the ground, they'll bring as an offering to God. And when they do, they will recite a formula. And that formula has found its way into the Passover Haggadah, so it may be familiar to you. My ancestor was a fugitive Aramaean, and he went down to the land of Egypt in meager numbers, and there grew to be a great and mighty nation, and then was delivered to God, delivered by God through years of wandering in the wilderness to come to the land of milk and honey that God promised, that now I'm here and I have these wonderful produce to present as my offering of gratitude to God. So the Israelites are commanded to show thanks to God by bringing this offering and by reciting their history. And that history is not so rosy, or at least not all rosy. It includes having been enslaved in Egypt. In fact, that's, after all, why we say it at the Passover Seder. Rabbi Andrea London, writing in the Musar Torah commentary, says that this is what you call a yeridah l'shem aliyah, a going down in order to come up. That our people was sent into bondage in Egypt in order that we might come out of bondage to reach new heights and to be able to appreciate the gifts that God had bestowed upon us. We, in the year 2020, know plenty about yeridah, about going down, about having something to complain about. No, thank God we're not slaves in Egypt. And we certainly know that many people have it a lot worse than you or me, at least than most of us do. Most of us have been able to stay well, keep our jobs, but still, we're in a difficult and disjointed situation. And Rabbi London tells the story of two schleppers, two laggards, who are crossing the Red Sea, the Sea of Reeds, when Moses parts the Red Sea. And the whole time that they're crossing, these two schleppers are complaining to each other. They're complaining about all of the mud that their feet are stuck in, and they're all muddy and gross and disgusting. And they're so focused on the mud that they don't notice the magnificent miracle that's been wrought on their behalf. The sea has been parted to provide freedom for the children of Israel. You and I are walking through an awful lot of mud right now, and there's plenty of cause for complaint. But let none of us be so focused on the mud between our toes, figuratively, that we fail to notice the blessings in our lives. If we have financial security, at least at some level, that's much about which to be thankful. If we have our health, that's even more about which to be thankful. If we have a reasonably comfortable place to be in our homes during this time when we are spending so much time in our homes, then that is so much for which to be thankful. And if we have something good to eat every now and then, that's also something for which to be thankful. And I'm sure that each and every one of us can think of causes for gratitude. In Hebrew, the midah, the soul trait of gratitude, is called hakarat hatov, recognizing what's good. Recognition of the good. Rabbi London cites psychological studies that have shown that expressing and experiencing gratitude lead to better physical health, and of course, better mental health as well. And so let us, even at a difficult time, even when we are acutely aware of the mud stuck between our toes, let us experience God's goodness and the blessings in our lives, and let us give thanks with gratitude. Shabbat Shalom.